What is up, folks crew? Welcome back to another FPL video. This time it is the Game Week 2 predicted lineups for all of the Premier League teams. So before we do get into those interesting formations and lineups, please do smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 10 likes on the video. Right, let's get into it. So here we go, predicted lineups for every Premier League team. We will start with Arsenal, but just a quick shout out to DraftHound who do sponsor this channel, and that is where I get my predicted lineups from. Also to note, there's a link in the description below. Remember, everything I receive does go straight to charity at the end of the season. So let's get into it. So Aaron Ramsdale obviously starting in goal. There are concerns over David Raya coming in. I think Arsenal just played a behind doors friendly where they won 3-0 against Luton Town. David Raya played. Trossard scored 2 goals and Saka got the other. I'd say that's more giving players playing time and getting them up to speed. So I'd say that actually Raya probably won't start and neither will Trossard. So I think this is pretty spot on by DraftHound. Ben White right back. Saliba and Gabriel in there. Zinchenko the rotator now that Jurrien Timber got that horrible ACL injury in his knee. Odegaard in there, Thomas Partey. I mean, if Gabriel didn't play, obviously they're talking about Thomas Partey playing right back again, but I'd expect Gabriel should be back by now. Declan Rice in there, we've got Saka, Havertz as a regular, key man Martinelli and Saka obviously, and that looks about good for Arsenal. Next up, we've got Aston Villa, obviously Everton at home. Martinez starting in goal. And then a player who's in my Game Week 2 team, Matty Cash in at right back. Obviously, Tyrone Mings picked up that horrible injury, so Pau Torres will come in next to Konza and Digne, who is the rotator. Douglas Luiz partnered by Camara, who's the rotator. And then we've got Diaby, who looked really impressive. John McGinn. Bailey there, and then Ollie Watkins spearheads the attack. So do you have any Aston Villa players in your side this game week? Let me know in the comments below. On to Bournemouth again, tough fixture for them away at Liverpool. Neto in goal, Anthony, Zambamir, Senesi and Kurzkes playing in the back four. Billing and Rothwell sit in the midfield with Brooks, Christie and Anthony ahead of them, and then Solanke up top, who obviously got off to a good start with the goal. So that is the cherries. And obviously guys, I keep these videos really short and concise for your viewing, so let's get on to the next one. Next up, we've got Brentford. They've got Fulham away, so we start with goalkeeper Flecken in goal. We've got Collins in there, Pinnock as always. Ben Mee should come back into that side after that injury. Hickey, Norgard and Yeka and Janelt. And then Henry bombing down that side with his pace. Visser and Mbeumo up front. Remember, Mbeumo's on penalties. Next up, we've got Brighton Seagulls still in goal. They've got Wolves away. Milner in the defence. Dunk, Van Hecke, Estupinan, very popular pick there, getting returned straight away. Pascal Gross, Billy Gilmore, Solimar, Shal Pedro, Matoma and Danny Welbeck up front. I'm sure you've got some of these players in your team. Next up, we've got Burnley. They'll be playing no one this game week, and their predicted lineup will of course be, well, nobody. So that got me through that one quick. Let's move on to the next team. Now we got Chelsea. Now they play West Ham away. They're all right in game week 1, but new team and that, you'd have to get used to it. So Sanchez coming in on goal there because obviously Kepa doing one. Gusto comes in because of the Reece James injury, which seems to happen all the time for them. But Gusto is quite a lively young player. Thiago Silva and Colwill in there. And Ben Chilwell, who's in my team. Absolutely brilliant player. Really does get down that side well. Enzo and Gallagher. Now Gallagher labelled as a rotator. I'd expect new signing Caicedo to actually go in there. And then we got Sterling, Chukwuemeka whilst Nkunku's out being the ball carrier. Mudryk a rotator as well. And then we got the impressive Jackson up front. Crystal Palace, Arsenal at home. They've got Johnson in goal, quite a popular pick. Ward, Mark Gay, Anderson, Mitchell, Decore and Lerma. Ayew substitute. They've got Eze, Schlupp and Edouard in there. That looks about right. Edouard being the man ahead of Mateta there, and Eze has been on fire in pre-season form, but yet to see it. Let's see, can they do something against Arsenal? Next up, Sean Dyche's Everton, Aston Villa away, so that's going to be a cracking game. Pickford in goal, who's on my bench this game week. Patterson, Tarkowski, Keane and Young in the defence. Ghana, Anana and Owobi. Decore in there and Mapai. And I'd also expect to see possibly Danjuma come in for one of the rotators in that midfield. Time for Fulham. Brentford at home. Leno, the save machine in game week 1 in goal. And then we got Tete in defence, Diop, Ream and Robinson. Lukic and Paulinho substitute at the moment because of his injury. We don't know whether he's coming back yet, but normally he would start in there. Obviously, he's such a key player for them. Then we've got Wilson, Andreas Pereira and Villian. And they've gone for Raul Jimenez up front. Obviously, you could have Vinicius come in for Jimenez as well. Also linked with Flo Balogun of Arsenal. Could he be a future player in this Fulham side? Here's the lineup I'm interested in. It's Liverpool. They've got Bournemouth at home. Obviously, Becker in goal. Trent, Konate, Van Dijk and Robson in their defence. Midfield, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, McAllister is playing some beautiful passes in there. Szoboszlai obviously on corners. Then you've got Salah in there. Lot will be captaining him this game week. And I'll be hiding behind the sofa. But I've got Jota in there, so I'll be praying he starts. Obviously labelled as a rotator here. And that will be for Darwin Núñez. But really need Jota to start. And Luis Diaz, who got his goal in game week 1. And then of course Luton was supposed to play Burnley, and because that game's cancelled due to the ground being done up, that one is off. But they played that friendly behind closed doors against us, so at least they're staying sharp for game week 3. Manchester City now. They played that Super Cup game, so they're going to be leggy. Or are they? Is it early in the season? Will they be fine? Newcastle at home. Tough test. Newcastle obviously scoring them 5 goals against Aston Villa. But I'd expect it to be fine for Pep. Edison in goal. Walker the rotator. Kanji a rotator. Ake a rotator. Rico Lewis a rotator. Because it is Pep roulette. Everything is rotatory. Kovacic in midfield, Rodrigo, who a lot of FPL managers have bought in. We've got Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden there, and of course Erling Haaland up front. But could we see Julio Alvarez squeeze in there somewhere? That will be the one to look out for. Man United, now they had an interesting game against Wolves, but it's Tottenham away for them next. Onana in there after his penalty survival, shall we say, got away with one there in goal. And then Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw in there. I've actually benched Luke Shaw this game week. Casemiro and Mount in that midfield. Got Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, Sancho as a rotator and Rashford up front. Now they've obviously got Højlund as a new striker. Could we see him come in, and then will they move Rashford back out to Sancho's position on the left? That's something to look out for. Or will Ten Hag carry on and be like trusting in Rashford to actually go out there and deliver this game week? Let's see. Now Newcastle United obviously playing Man City away. We've got Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Botman, that 4.5 budget. Burn in there, Tonali, who was impressive scoring his goal on the debut, Bruno Guimaraes, Joel Linton, Almiron, who was quite impressive, Gordon, who was quite good as well, and Isak up front, now obviously scoring his goals, but Callum Wilson could start ahead of him or come on early. Either way, he's definitely a rotator for me, which is what they got him down here as, so spot on there. I mean, decent players in Isak and Wilson, but it's always that substitution that is the problem, the expected minutes. Nottingham Forest, now they've got Sheffield United at home. Matt Turner in goal, who I've gone with ahead of Pickford this game week 2. And then we've got Aurier, Worrell, Niakate, Aina, who was quite impressive against Saka. No easy task there for him. Mangala, Danilo rotator, Johnson, Gibbs-White, who's a great player for them. Elanga, who came on and done bits for them against Arsenal, very pacey. And Awonyi up front. So that is Nottingham Forest. Will you be having the likes of Matt Turner between your goalposts in game week 2? Let us know in the comments below. On to Sheffield United. It is, of course, who we just talked about. Nottingham Forest away for them. Fodringham in goal. Amahodzic in the defence with Egan and Robinson. Then on the flanks, Baldock and Lowe. Basham, Norwood and Osborne in the middle. Osula and Benile in there. So interesting team for them, but I doubt that many people have assets from this side. Now on to Spurs. It is, of course, Man United at home for them. They've got Vicario in goal. Emerson Royale, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, cheap player but very impressive, the youngster. Skip, Basuma, James Maddison on everybody's radar in there. Kulusevski, Son and Richarlison up front. Now before we do continue with this video, if you're enjoying this content, please do smash that subscribe button. It all does help. On to West Ham. They've got Chelsea at home. And start with Areola in goal, who KSI has just said that he's transferred in early this game week. Kufau in there, Zuma, Agard and Emerson. Susek, Fornals and Paqueta in their midfield. Benrahma, Bowen could be a good pick this season. And Antonio up front. And finally, we are on to Wolves lineup. Brighton at home for them. Jose Sarr in goal. Semedo, Dawson, Kilman, Aït-Nouri, Lamina and Joel Gomez in midfield. Matthias, who I was quite impressed with. Cunha I was impressed with. And Sarabia and Neto flanking him. That is Wolves. That is all of the lineups for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do smash that subscribe button and thank you so much for watching.